Unusual Tales from Mythology by Sudha Murty. The Boy with Eight Deformities. Uddalaka, the famous scholar and sage, had a daughter named Sujata who was interested in philosophy. When Sujata came to be of marriageable age, she was married to Kahoda, one of Uddalaka's students. In the course of time, the couple began expecting their first child. Since Sujata was a traditional girl, she believed that listening to good things and thinking positively would allow her unborn child to absorb the goodness in the surroundings. So she began attending her husband's classes regularly. One day, when Kahoda was reciting the Vedas, he made an error. Instantly, the child in Sujata's womb said, "Oh, father, you have made a mistake." Kahoda, however, did not pay attention and continued to recite. When he had made 8 such mistakes, the unborn child began giggling and remarked, "Despite your immense knowledge, you made many mistakes. I have counted 8 till now." Kahoda was furious. He cursed his child in anger. "Well, then, may you be born with 8 defects." Saying this, Kahoda left the ashram in anger and never returned. A few months later, his curse reached fruition. Ashtavakra was born, deformed in 8 places: 2 on his feet, 2 on his hands, 2 on his legs, and on his chest and head. Meanwhile, his father was far away attending a philosophical debate in the court of Janaka in the kingdom of Videha. His opponent was Vadin, a great and learned man who was hard to beat. There was a strange condition for the debate. The one who loses would be severely punished by being immersed in water for the rest of his life. But if the person was successful in defeating Vadin, then he would be granted a wish. Kahoda, however, was so arrogant and confident of his victory that he agreed to the condition and took part in the debate. Unfortunately, he lost, and as due punishment, he was immersed in water and left there to live out his days. Ashtavakra was raised by his mother with the help of his grandfather Uddalaka. As was natural, Ashtavakra considered Uddalaka to be his father. When he was 12 years old, Uddalaka revealed that he was the boy's grandfather. Ashtavakra turned to his mother and asked her questions until he was satisfied. The young boy finally learnt about his father and why he was born with deformities. Ashtavakra had a magnanimous heart. So once he learnt of Kahoda's whereabouts, he decided to attempt to free him, even though his father was the one who was responsible for his condition. The next day, he set out towards Videha. When Ashtavakra reached Janaka's court, the gatekeeper did not allow him inside. He thought, "This deformed child doesn't look like he can even communicate properly with the king." Ashtavakra requested him to let him pass. "Please, sir, I want to meet the great king because he is an outstanding philosopher. He is the only one who will be able to understand someone like me. I request you to allow me just one meeting." Something about Ashtavakra's demeanor melted the gatekeeper's heart, and he opened the gates for the boy. For a real philosopher, external appearances are never important. It is the internal knowledge that is of supreme value. So, when the boy finally met Janaka and spoke to him, the king was in awe. After the meeting with the king, Ashtavakra also decided to have a debate with Vadin. Vadin was no match for the boy, and Ashtavakra easily defeated him. For his wish, Ashtavakra asked Vadin to free all the sages who had lost to Vadin, including his father. Vadin kept his word and freed all of them. The sages came and blessed Ashtavakra, while Kahoda stood to a side, feeling ashamed of his behavior. Vadin then disclosed his true identity. I am the son of Varuna, the god of water. My father wanted me to perform a yagna, but it was hard to get sages to agree to live underwater for such a long time. That is why I created this debate and the punishment. Through this contest, I was able to send the sages to the water world to help my father. Soon after, Ashtavakra returned to the ashram with his father. Kahoda instructed him to take a dip in a holy river nearby. When Ashtavakra did so, all his deformities disappeared. Ashtavakra was a man of self realization, and Janaka frequently called upon him to debate with him and to learn from him. This conversation between the king and Ashtavakra is documented in what we now call Ashtavakra Gita, or the Book of Self Realization. The end.